And they're like so blunt. When I tell you, you cannot have soft feelings. Huh?
Was it? I was about to say. I was like, this is not the same agency. Because we're both signed to the same agency so for the people that at home. So I'm over here like, am I safe? Like, do I not need to be? Christ.
Listen, I could go on and on, but no, I've been through so many agencies, like modeling agencies. I've been through like 5 of them already, and this was one of the more like upscale, old money, elite type agencies where they've been doing things the same since 1985, probably even longer. And the way that they talk to you, they're not trying to save your feelings. So if you're sensitive and you don't really like people talking about your body, modeling is probably not for you because it's all about your body. So it's like, you have to have tough skin in this business.
Absolutely.
And like, just some of the things that they like agents have said to me, clients have said to me, for a normal person, you might run out crying, but I was like, I'm here for money and I'm here for my bag. I don't care what you say, just whatever constructive criticism that you're going to give me, I'm going to take it and make it my own, make it better. And like, you know, next time I'm going to come back and like, I'm going to scoop up the bag, you know what I mean? Like, but that's just perspective I take.
Yeah. And I love that about you. And then here's the thing. I always thought that was so funny with like your situation and mine, like people come for your looks first, and when they can't come for your looks, they try to come for your attitude or your character. And I always just thought it was like, those were like the easiest hate comments to dismiss were the ones about my looks, as shallow as that may sound, because I was like, listen, what you can't convince me of is that I'm ugly.
Right.
Like, you can, like,
period.
I may not be for everybody. I'm not saying I'm like, you know, to everybody I'm the 10 out of 10. To somebody, I'm definitely ugly. As a matter of fact, I get told that every time I go on a casting. So if I allowed opinions to impact me, I would not be working.
Right.
So that's kind of like, I have to think that I'm hot shit or else I'm not gonna book.
Yes.
And so
thank you. And I try to, when people ask me about modeling, I'm like, you have to have the confidence. Do you have confidence? Because people are going to break you down. They're going to tell you, you're not tall enough, you're not short enough, you're not fat enough, you're not skinny enough. They're going to tell you all these things about your body. If you're going to take it personally and it's going to attack your mental health, you're probably not right for this business, because you have to take it with a grain of salt. Like, you're there to work, you're there to get booked, you're there to make money. You're not there to like have these people validate your looks and who you are as a person. You already have to come with that, knowing that you look good and no one can tell you anything about it. Okay, you have to come with that attitude, because or else it's just not. You know what I mean?
You preach. No, you're absolutely right.
And what has been your experience modeling in LA and going to these castings? Like, can you give us some stories and like what it's like for you?
Honestly, I don't have a really bad experience to speak of. I think my agent and I are just really locked in, and she knows that I don't tolerate a lot of nonsense. So, or if nonsense occurs, I'm telling her about it immediately, and I'm like, I never want to work there again. Please don't make me do it.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah,
I will say, okay. I have to be selective on this tea that I'm about to say, but I'm not going to give any names. But so our agent, if I'm thinking we have multiple agents, I'm thinking of the same one. She's the sweetest person I've ever worked with. She's the most helpful. Every time I walk in there, she's like, Gabby, I want to make you feel comfortable about what you're doing, good about what you're doing. I'm on your team. I'm on your side. I want to be a supporter and a backbone of you and what you're doing. Mm-hmm. That is the only agent, and I've been through several, the only agent that feels that way. Okay. That doesn't look, because when I go to the other agencies, you're a product. What can you do for us? I'll tell you this one story. Ooh, I don't know if I can say it, but I'm going to say it anyways. All right. So one of my agencies, this was years ago, one of these agencies, like really bougie, and this older woman who had been with the agency for years, decades or whatever. Mm. You know, I'm like a new model. I'm like scared. This is like when I first was starting. I didn't really know how to behave or how to act. I just knew that I didn't want to get on her bad side, because if she blacklists you, it's done. Like, she was like one of those ladies that like, she knows everybody and she's been around, kind of like Anna Wintour. You don't want to piss off Anna Wintour. You'll never go anywhere, Vogue, or like, you know, so like, she's one of those. And so I was like in the bathroom, kind of like touching my makeup before I went into the office, and she goes in the bathroom. She's like actively on the toilet, you know, doing her thing, and she's like keeping me in there to keep her company, like having a whole conversation when I'm trying to get out of a conversation. But you know, I'm like awkward, so I don't really know how to get out of all the conversations. So I'm trying to like leave the bathroom, and then she keeps on talking to me as she's like taking a shit, and I'm just like, what is happening?
I'm like, what? Like when you said she's doing her thing, I'm like, you have to be very. We're models. You have to be very specific about what the thing is. Is it coming out of one end or the other? I'm not trying to perpetuate any negative stereotypes, but I'm just saying, I've
literally, I was like, and then I was just like, you know, keeping a smile on my face, trying to just like not piss her off, right? Because I didn't know what side this lady was on, but I'm just like, so I went from, you know, the first few months of modeling, just like having a conversation with this lady that I didn't want to get on her bad side while she takes a shit, to like a year later, I'm bringing in so much money that she invites me into her office and lets me sit on the big chair while she's signing my checks. Okay, that was a glow up. I'm sorry, because before, I was never allowed in her office. She never even, like, models were not allowed in her office, and she wouldn't let anybody in. If she did let you in, it was because it was to scold you, or it's like she would like be, she would.
Gosh, she's so intimidating. It's like giving Miranda.
Literally, but
Miranda
this,
Priestley.
I mean, not Miranda. Not Miranda Priestley.
Yes.
You know, it was like that. And then the only time she would let people sit in that chair is if like it was the other agents, the lower level agents that she was calling in to like scold about something. So the fact that she like, yeah, you can come in, Gabby, come in. Oh, sit in this chair if you want. I'm like, what is, I literally thought I was gonna get fired. I was like, what's going on? And then she's like, you know, as she's signing my check, she's like, these checks keep getting bigger and bigger. I was like, yes, I made it.
Yeah.
So, you know, like it just, you're low and then you're up. But I always remember my humble beginnings.
Truly, like that comes with so many highs and so many lows. Like, were there any of your favorite other highs that you've had?
Oh gosh.
No, you're supposed to be asking me questions, but I'm genuinely curious about you.
Well, highs pertaining to what exactly?
Modeling.
Yes. Okay. So, well, okay. I have like a list, my vision board list or whatever, and you know I have a couple of them that's been on there for years that I've wanted to cross off my bucket list. One of them was being getting a billboard in Times Square, and I crossed that off my list last year because I got 2 billboards in Times Square. Damn. And I was like this was like a dream come true. That was amazing. Another one was where I got hired. I went blonde, which I never thought I would do. And like people ask me this all the time. So basically I grew up in like a very strict household. My dad was like, you're not allowed to cut your hair, dye your hair, damage your hair in any way. So like I was not allowed to, like my hair was the same hairstyle my whole life. So then I get this big company like wanting to hire me for this hair job. And I've said no to several hair jobs because I was like, I just don't feel comfortable doing it. So I said yes to this one. I got cold feet because I was like, what if there's no coming back? But it was like, you know, YOLO, why not? And so, and I think it was during pandemic. Yeah, it was during pandemic. So they wanted to chop my hair up to here in a lopsided bun, like a lopsided bob. So like it'd be like this high, this side, and this long, this side, bleach blonde with the roots still like black and the same, whatever. And I was like, YOLO, yes. And then the next day I was like scared, and then I said no. And then like 8 of the agents and assistants did a group phone call with me to try to convince me to do it. They're like, it's not like the 80s where they're just gonna, you know, bleach your hair to shit. Like they know what they're doing. They have good products now, blah, blah, blah. So I did it. And I went blonde, and it was like a life-changing check. Okay. It was like the biggest check.
Because I was going to say, how much was it?
It was the biggest check I've gotten out of my career.
Okay.
So when I tell people that, they're like, girl, I would never do it. Like my older sister always calls me like, don't be doing this crazy stuff to your hair just for a little bit of money. I was like, it wasn't a little bit, it was a lot of it. And when I tell people about it, they're just like, oh yeah, I guess I would have done it too.
So everybody has a price. Everybody has a price.
Everybody has a price, you know? And so, yeah, so I guess that was a high. Another high would be, oh gosh, I have a lot of lows though too, but I'm thinking that the highs, I guess, honestly.
We can keep it positive. Let's talk about the highs.
Yeah.
I think we all know the lows. It gets talked about all the time on TikTok, to be honest. I'll let the other models complain. It's fine.
Yeah. I think, for me, like coming from a small town in Florida, and people telling me that they're like, I had to lose weight to even think about being a model or being in the entertainment industry. Flash forward to signing my first modeling contract and living in New York City, from like this small town to just like going to New York City. It was like I was living a dream. And I just remember being on like the 40th floor of this agency, looking out at the view of New York, of like Manhattan, sitting in this office with other models during one of like the model meetings or whatever, and just thinking, wow, I cannot believe this is real life. Like, I can't believe I'm living this life. That's crazy.
If it's meant to be, then it'll be a love song.